All right, I know exactly what you guys are thinking. What is with this big pit sitting in this world? So what we got going on is we're gonna have we are English is hard. We're going to have a pretty gnarly tree farm in a nice little factory we designed up over this big gaping hole, and then the idea is there's Charles's iron farm, bit ridiculous. The idea here is that everything that comes from the two tree farms that are going to be in this area that I'm mining out at the moment are going to funnel down and go down there where there will be lots of different chests. And so that way we'll have storage for all of the farms in this area. Um, at the moment, it's just the iron farm. There is also a cobblestone farm over here and a snowball farm. So we're going to see how that goes. It's quite time consuming to sit there and actually take out 800,000 blocks. But we're going to get through it. We're going to put this tree farm, oop, right here. That would have been bad. So we'll get back to you guys with an update and we'll see how this goes. All right, so here's where we're sitting at right now. I've got a good portion of this area cleared out. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull in the schematic and I'm going to show you guys a little bit about what we're trying to go for here. So there is our area, and now go here to Lightmatica. We'll turn our placement back on. And so there is our tree farm factory. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to come down here. And now we're going to bring it down to there. So that's about where we're looking at putting it. So I've still got some more to clear out on this side over here. Going to have the big entrance door coming out there. I'm going to build this area up over here, bridge it in with our farm island over there, maybe put a lot nicer bridge going across right there, and then have another nicer bridge coming across this entire pathway. And then we'll probably put some kind of wood and deep slate barrier coming around this way over here. So that's where we're at with this right now. I guess I still got to go and clear out. Not okay. I thought it was going to be more than that. Not a whole lot more blocks, and I think I'm going to raise it up one more and then place grass blocks to cover up the stone and whatnot. So we've got a proper place to set down this gorgeous building. Let's see if we can see what the inside looks like. Yeah, that looks nice. So we'll do a little bit more terraforming, and we'll see if we can find a place to set it down for good. All right, so this has got to be probably the worst part about actually putting up some of these builds is just actually going and placing all the builds now. So I guess we'll sit there and oh, I forgot some blocks. I have to go back down and grab. Gonna have to go back down and grab some more deep slate so I could turn it into polished deep slate stairs. Probably went a little too envious with the amount of iron blocks used for the flooring, but I think with the iron farm that we've got going for us at the moment, I don't think that'll actually be an issue. So we're going to see what happens with that. All right, so I'm going to show you guys where I'm at the moment. We're starting to get a few of the walls up. You know, I'm going layer by layer. And we're getting a lot of the flooring done, but the bad part about the flooring is these are all iron blocks, so we are draining the iron farm at the moment. This is not, it's unsettling. So I guess I probably should have started over there for the flooring, you know, to make it so you don't fall off into a chasm of death. That does go all the way down to bedrock, and like I said, the plan for this is to build this up to be our storage so that all of the farms, you know, there's a few of them going right now, so that all of the farms can funnel into, so that all the farms can funnel down here. And so that way there's just a better centralized storage situation going on here, because I would hate to have to run around to 8 different farms to gather materials that you need. when it could be as easy as dropping down here. And I'll show you what I mean by dropping down here, if I could get around to it. So it'll be as easy as dropping down here, probably a little bit prettier of a tunnel, but for the most part, that works. So this goes all the way down to bedrock, and these are just the chests full of stuff that we've cleared from this area. And then going back up is as easy as going up the bubble column, bubble elevator. Eventually, it's a very long way. Any day now. It'll be that easy going up and down it. So, I don't know how much is going to be done next time I get on. I know Eli and Charles and some of the other guys might hop on here, import the schematic, and start working on the walls and the farm. So, we'll see what's happening when I get back on later. But this is where we're at the moment. So, we're starting to get the building coming together. The floor is really resource intensive. So, that just kind of comes along whenever we get enough iron from the iron farm. I went down to the bottom of this pit and I sorted out a lot of the materials, because a lot of materials I need for this tree farm are coming from under there. And so I'm starting to gather all the resources that I'm using for this tree farm. And one of the resources that I thought would look really good, especially when we were making it in creative, was stripped wood. But the problem with that is, in order to get stripped wood, you have to... Oh man, those lag drop was crazy. In order to actually get stripped log, you have to place every single log down and then go through with an axe and actually strip them. So I have to do that with 11 stacks worth of spruce wood, because I thought that would be a really great idea. And this is extremely time consuming, especially after spending something like 2 hours sorting all the materials from the pit, and now working on gathering everything for this tree farm. A lot of this stuff is just, it's time consuming, it's slow, but the finished product is what makes all of these look so good. So it's occurred to me while gathering materials for this build that there's yet another pretty stupid block I need to get, and that would be mud blocks. And I had to actually look it up to see how to make mud blocks, and it's actually a bit ridiculous. So one of the first things we're going to need to actually make mud blocks is some dirt. We're now going to need some sand. We are now going to have to smelt the sand into glass. And then we turn all those glass blocks into glass bottles. And from there, all we got to do is just place down our dirt blocks, and yep, there you go. Just dump your water bottle straight into your dirt blocks. So I wasn't going to sit there for, 6 or 8 stacks, whatever I needed. So I found this little mud farm by UForced. And so all you got to do is just sit here, place a dirt block, break it, dispenses water, at least it should. Yep, so place dirt block, gets turned to mud, break it. And so we'll sit here and do that until I got about 4 stacks of mud. You get a good little groove going around with this mud farm here. It's a whole lot nicer than dragging bottles of water over and just putting it on dirt for an hour straight. Alright, so now that we got our mud, in order to change it into packed mud, we have to now go to the wheat farm. Alright, so we're pulling up to the farmhouse. We'll see how much wheat we even got. Oh, we got enough. So we'll take the wheat, bring it over here, and turn it into packed mud. As much as we got. And then we'll turn it into mud bricks. And we'll turn some of them into... Oh, not all of them. I won't do all of them. We'll turn some of them into walls for the build. Alright, so now we've got a majority of the blocks. I think we have almost all the blocks for the rest of this factory build. One of the last things that I'm going to go see if I can find is some extra scaffolding from maybe a recent project. That would help me tremendously once these walls start getting tall, because this is a large build. That scaffolding will help me try to get to the top a little bit quicker. So we'll go see if we've got more. Alright, so I got us about 2.5 stacks, a little over 2 stacks of scaffolding. So we'll see how far into the build we can make it with that. And now goes the slow rolling process of actually putting this schematic into the world. Very grateful for easy place. I'm grateful for the Lightmatica giving me everything I need to do the build. So now it's just actually putting the build into this server. So we'll see how long this takes. Alright, so here's what we got going on so far. I've been happy, I've been grateful actually that Eli and Coco, a couple of the guys, have been able to help me out on this, give me a hand putting the schematic in. And we are finally, I'm going to do a little free cam, we're finally starting to near the end of this monster of a factory. So in here, I'm going to get in here real quick, where this pit is going to be a single sapling tree farm, and then it's going to funnel down eventually to an item filter system we'll have going down here. And then on the front half of this building will be where a 2x2 sapling tree farm will go. So I'm happy this is finally starting to come together. It looks amazing on this island. And so the idea for this is we're going to have a nice pathway going around it. I'm going to have to terraform this area some more, and this area a lot. So I don't know if I'm going to completely get rid of these mounds or if I'm going to keep them and try to integrate some sort of pathway to connect everything. And then we'll add little street lamps and, you know, other items of that nature. But I'm really happy with where this is going right now. There's Eli right now putting in some of the wood planks, or some of the stripped logs. Man, this is all done. It's going to look amazing. But there we go. That's where we're at so far. I am finally happy. Of course, I'm going to drop right into water. Okay. I am happy to announce that through the efforts with Eli and Coco, our tree farm factory building has finally been finished up. God, it looks amazing. It looks even better finished in the survival world. So the plan now is to figure out a wall design for the pit and try to start a first layer and do item filters surrounding the entirety of the wall. And so that way, when these 2 tree farms start producing all the logs and saplings and everything else that you get with chopping down trees, everything will be stored nicely and neatly. So we'll see where that takes us. All right, so after a long, it's been a good few sessions that me and the guys have been working on this tree factory building for, and I'm happy to say that it's finally done. And up close, it really looks great. The big key points for here is there's going to be a 2x2 sapling tree farm here, and then over here is where we have the tree farm for every other type of wood we have. So the idea now, I'm going to crouch so I don't fall. So this farm is going to produce the logs and the saplings. It's going to gather the sticks and the apples, all that stuff. And then it's all going to be, let me see if I can get down here and show you guys. It's all going to be funneled up over, hang on, let me get a better view. I really want to show this off. It's pretty cool. So the idea is that all of the drops will come up this elevator, come down this water stream, and jet across this open galley. Then it'll go over and down to what's eventually going to be an item sorter. So we have 32 filters that'll be going here for all the types of wood and all the saplings and sticks and apples and everything else that'll come from this tree farm, and hopefully the other tree farm, and quite possibly some of the other farms that we're going to have in the area. We're going to have it all funneled down to here. And then maybe once we start working on getting a lot of the farms finished up, we can actually start working on detailing some of these bigger builds, because these walls are hideous. So I wouldn't mind doing some more deep slate tiles or some cracked bricks, and then do some copper inlays with this with these walls. That would look great. And I think one of the other things that's we got to work on is doing a second floor for storage, which it's nice that we have that right there. So that'll be easy to get. That'll be easy to get whenever we need tinted glass and stuff like that. And then down here is just kind of where we had. Oh, that was close. That was very close. And then down here we've just got a couple other little smaller builds taking up some space in the meantime. So we'll see. We'll see what we get to working on next. All right, so we got to go get some nether quartz so we can make up some comparators and stuff like that for the item filters. So we're gonna go see if we can find some, and maybe along the way we'll see if we can get any ancient debris. Maybe start upgrading some gear too. So we'll see what happens. All right, so we did come back with quite a good bit of netherite quartz ore, nether quartz ore. So we'll go ahead and use the fortune pickaxe on it and see how much we got. And now, one of the more satisfying parts of the game is seeing how much nether quartz we got, because we're going to need that for comparators and I don't know what else. Mostly just comparators at the moment for those item filters. So we got just barely over a stack of... Oh, I'm sorry. We just barely got over 2 stacks of quartz. So we'll see if we can find some redstone and some sticks and craft up a few comparators and some repeaters. We're going to need some redstone, and we're going to need hoppers. And I think they said that there's some hoppers over here somewhere, but man, this is a bit of a mess. So I'm going to have to look for a minute to try to find them. So I did find where they kept the hoppers, and as well as the ingots and iron blocks. So I guess we'll grab those because we're going to need them to craft even more hoppers, because I need about 600 or 700 hoppers to make all the item filters work, and that's going to take a lot of iron. All right, so with the 2x2 sapling tree farm done, now we go down here. I can show you how I've piped everything in. This is actually pretty cool. So you come down here to the little control center. I'm not sure how to run this farm, so I won't be doing that until at least I know better. So the idea here is that items will come out of there. It'll come down this little chute. Come down, it'll drop down into the main system, and then everything will come down to here to where it'll actually be filtered. And there's all of our filter setups. Wow, lag drop is crazy. So there we have item filters set up for whatever saplings and logs, sticks, apples, whatever we could need for this farm, everything we want to hold. It'll all come down here. Then from down here, you'll be able to just grab whatever it is you're looking for and go on about your day. And now I've started working on the walls, and that's going to be not the fastest project ever, not the fastest detailing job ever, because I underestimated how much copper I would actually need to do this. I originally started with like a double chest or 2 of copper ingots, but I didn't realize how many copper ingots, copper blocks would turn into, and it's not a lot. It really is not a lot. So I believe the last bit of this farm, now that everything's piped in and we're almost ready to have full production over the 2 tree farms, the last thing on my agenda, if I can get up this eventually, is to just kind of work on some more of this exterior terraforming. And so that way we can actually have a nice little walkway. I probably will take down this entire mountain. I'm not sure how far out I'll go with it, but we'll just see whatever looks good. And once this is all pulled and terraformed, we can start working on another factory. Whether that be a cobblestone factory that looks better than the cobblestone factory that's over there, or maybe even like finally work on the golden carrot factory and what have you. But for now, I think that's it, guys. We'll see you next time.